Hi, I'm Mark Maringer here with Carla Madison, candidate for City Council District 8. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So let me just start off with something fairly easy. What's your background in Denver? How long have you lived here?
Well, I was born here.
Okay.
My folks lived in Edgewater and continued to move a little bit farther west as I grew up. So a lot of my younger years were in almost Golden, like the Applewood area. And then I went to school in Boulder, and my first jobs were in downtown Denver. And so I've been kind of in the area a lot. I've moved in and out. I went to school in Boston. Boston University is where I got my master's in physical therapy, which is what I've been doing for the last 20 years.
Okay.
I have two sort of aspects to my job. I've been working for the Visiting Nurse Association, and so in that part of the job, I work for seniors and handicapped in their homes in the district. And then my other side job is that is in performing arts medicine, which is like sports medicine only for performing artists, and we focus on mostly dancers and musicians. And so I've been working backstage at most of the concert venues in town forever. And you know, when a show like Lion King or the Rockettes comes through town, often I'll get called in to be their therapist.
Oh, and great seats, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So that's great. Well, that's interesting. Well, then what made you want to run for city council? That's an interesting kind of switch. Is it the theater behind it all? Or?
Well, actually, it has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
I've been a neighborhood president for the last 8 years of City Park West neighborhood. And in conjunction with all that, I've been going to all the zoning meetings. I was on the Colfax Revitalization Plan, and I'm on the zoning code, the Citizens Advisory Board to the Zoning Code Task Force, rewriting the zoning code. And for the last 8 years, I've just been sort of immersed in a lot of the issues, crime and graffiti, and I'm on the Chun board and Capitol Hill United Neighborhoods.
I was going to say, what's the Chun board?
The Capitol Hill United Neighborhoods, and so they deal with a lot of the homelessness issues, and they have a big graffiti fighting program, and we also do the Capitol Hill People's Fair, and I'm on INC. So anyway, I've been immersed in neighborhood issues, and neighborhood preservation is a big part of it. I did a 30-block zoning change for the City Park West neighborhood that helped preserve the neighborhood character. That it lowered it. It was zoned R4, which allows for all kinds of height, and then we put in an overlay which reduced the height allowed to 35 feet with setbacks similar to what's on the block.
So what do you see then as the biggest issues sort of facing your district? And because I know you have why don't you tell me a little bit about your district too? It's kind of a wide district. So.
It's got to be the most diverse district in the city. We start from Larimer Street, downtown, to 40th up north, and then it goes over to Holly in Park Hill, and then Colfax is the southern border.
Okay.
So we take in, the Central Business District downtown, plus all the historic neighborhoods of Curtis Park, Cole, Clayton, Park Hill, City Park West, City Park South, and Whittier, and everything in between, plus City Park itself.
Okay. So then, what do you see as the top issues facing your district then?
Part of that depends on where you are, of course, but I think that some of the biggest problems that are, I think that the zoning code rewrite is the biggest thing that's going to be coming before council over the next 4 years. And the effects that has on what we need to be looking at is how it, to me, one of the most important things is affordable housing and sort of maintaining our housing stock. As, especially in Park Hill, a lot of the small little bungalows which put in the diversity, so that a young family can move into Park Hill. Those are the ones that are getting bought up and then scraped and then building up larger homes. And so it's, Park Hill is little by little becoming a millionaire's neighborhood, at least southern Park Hill is. And that's something that we don't want to see happening all over the district. And once the plan, I hope, from the Zoning Code Task Force is to get the zoning so that it fits more closely to what the built environment is in the neighborhoods. So once that gets put into place, they're talking about different typographies that in a sort of a zoned, a form-based zoning, which will speak more to, what's there and what it looks like and the size of it, rather than like the use.
So it sounds like a pretty some significant change in the
Oh,
way Denver
yeah,
does its zoning.
yeah, and hopefully we can, maybe through some pilot programs, or, it's not going to go through all at once. It'll be a step-by-step process, and therefore I feel that whoever gets into office really needs to understand their zoning,
Right.
and that's what I've been doing for the last, 8 years. So, so that's what I feel is one of my strong suits.
Okay. Are there other issues that you think, I mean, in addition to zoning, that you think are sort of critical things going on?
Well, then there's the whole youth issue, which it seems like
Too many young people?
too many young people. No, actually, it's probably the other problem, but it's just the education is one of them. I mean,
Okay.
Manual High School is closed, Cole Middle School. A lot of our schools are failing, and so to get them bolstered up, plus that's a huge contribution to the whole gang issue
Right.
and crime issue. If we can get our kids into school and to stay in school, I think that they'd have a much better chance of avoiding, that whole
Right.
scene.
So what do you see, I mean, the DPS and the city sort of operate somewhat independently.
Yeah.
What do you see the city council's role or the city's role when it comes to
How
education?
to do that.
Right.
I think what city council can do is help shine a spotlight on any success that the schools have, the public schools have, and therefore encouraging parents of all income levels. I think that's the most important part. I mean, people who can't afford to send their kids to a private school, they have to send their kids to the public schools.
Right.
But the people that have choices, those are the people we need to focus on and get them to trust our schools again, so that they'll enroll their kids in the schools. Therefore, hoping to increase the fundraising capacities that the
Okay.
schools have, because that's how a lot of the private schools make it, is that the parents have fundraising drives,
Right.
and therefore they can take trips, and they can have band, and the things that the school on its own might not be able to afford. And Denver public schools definitely need that kind of boost.
Right.